Hi boys and girls, Mr. McVeigh here, and I am going to be talking to you about some of the books that we have in the library that are under the science fiction genre. You may also have heard this referred to as sci-fi, and it's just a shortened version of science fiction. So let's get started, shall we? First up on our list is a book. It's called Eager. I'm just going to move over here so you can see the book better. And it is written by Helen Fox. This is mostly about like a brother and sister team who are trying to figure out how to just kind of navigate being in a family where they don't have as much money as some of the other people in their town. And so their parents are trying to compensate, so they buy this robot, and they nickname him Eager. And rather than following directions, Eager likes to ask lots of questions. So he's supposed to learn in the same way that a young child would learn. So as you can imagine, when a robot starts asking you a bunch of questions and trying to decide what to do based on what it knows or doesn't know, it can get into a lot of trouble. So this is an interesting story, and as the siblings go through their adventures, they also uncover some mysterious and very shady things that are happening at the corporation LifeCorp. LifeCorp creates and sells robots, so you can imagine what they might be up to. Next up on our list is When You Reach Me. This is by Rebecca Stead. This is a really interesting science fiction book because usually science fiction takes place in the future because we can imagine, oh, that's the future, and that's why they had this really cool technology, or that's why they figured out how to travel to other planets and meet aliens. But in this book, it kind of goes back in time, and so they have technology that they're encountering back in the 70s and 80s that's beyond what we have today. And it's called When You Reach Me because there has to do with some letters that are being written, and she receives this mysterious letter, and she has to decide how she's going to respond and what she's going to do in order to help save her family. The next book on our list is called The City of Ember, and this is a book that has been popular for quite a while. In this story, the people in the City of Ember live in an underground city that's been designed a long time ago, and the machinery that keeps the lights on and that keeps people fed and taken care of is basically breaking down. And it is up to some younger people, 12-year-old Lena. She's trying to figure out how they are able to save their city and save the people that live in it. So check that one out, The City of Ember. The next one, this is called The Wild Robot. Move over here again. And this is a picture of the cover art as well as the author, Peter Brown. And this is a really neat story. It's about a robot who is kind of alone on an island. And it develops some interesting abilities as it's trying to figure out how to be a part of a community and sort of find family. Except its family is a gosling, a baby goose, if you don't know. And it's a really funny story. It's kind of out there, and it takes a new twist on the idea of robots and in science fiction. Next on our list is a book called Whales on Stilts. I'm going to rearrange myself a little bit. There we go. And in this book, it's about a shy middle schooler who has to kind of take on her father's boss, who's conniving to take over the world using whales on stilts. They have lasers, and it's kind of like a really crazy book. So if you like the humor that you find in Lemony Snicket's books, or if you like the Goosebumps series, you might like this style of writing. They have, let's see, they take their adventures, go through fire and water, chases, attacks, numerous silly cliffhangers, and lines of dialogue such as, "Dash it all chums, this sounds a mighty pickle." Next one in our list is The Giver by Lois Lowry, and this book is a little more serious. In the storyline, in the future, people have certain jobs that they're given for life, and they stick with those. And one person is given the receiver of memories is his lifelong title, and he discovers some really dark, scary things about his society that make for a really interesting read, and one that's a little bit on the serious side at times, but a really, really well-written story that you'll like, I'm sure. A Wrinkle in Time is another book that's an interesting read, but this one has kind of been adapted and illustrated by Hope Larson, so this is in the graphic novel section. And in this story, it's about a girl named Meg who is trying to find her father and rescue him. But this one's in graphic novel format, but we also have it in the original version, A Wrinkle in Time. Check that one out. This is another fun book. It's an easy read. You might like it. It's about some kids who get sucked into a computer game, and they have to try to help this centaur. The next book, Dude, Where's My Spaceship? Another one that's just really fun, and imagine the aliens crash land on Earth. So it's more about their adventures and how they're trying to figure out life, and they get captured by the army and taken to the mysterious Area 51. It's called Dude, Where's My Spaceship by Dan Greenberg. The last one of our list that I'm going to talk about is called The Girl Who Could Fly, and I just recently finished this book. I found this book really fascinating. It's about this girl named Piper. She grows up on a farm, and her family homeschools her, and one of the reasons they do that is because they don't want her to ever experience anything weird and different, and eventually she goes into a picnic, though. Her parents let her out of the house, and at that picnic she exhibits her ability that she can fly. And so as soon as that happens, in come all the news reporters and the government agencies, and they talk her parents into taking her to this school. And the name of the school is, its acronym spells Insane, and you'll have to look up in the book why it's called Insane. And when she gets there, at first it seems wonderful, but then she quickly realizes that things are not how they seem, and her friends and her, who also have abilities, are going to figure out what they can do about it. And if you like to read a book where justice is served in the end and the bad guys get their justice, then you're going to love this book. It's a really cool story, and the characters are awesome. I found myself being surprised and just enjoying the characters throughout this book. All right, so that concludes our book talk on science fiction. Be sure to check out the video that shows how to do a search in our catalog in order to find science fiction too. All right, talk to you soon.